Hello, I'm Princess Kaye, and this is my Halloween episode. There will still be a lesson. Let's get talking. Hi, I'm Teacher Kaye, and if you're new here, I'm a certified speech-language pathologist. Why am I dressed up? Because it's Halloween, and I personally love it. Me and my friends since high school have always made an event out of it, dressed up, handed out candies to children. But also as a speech-language pathologist, it's always been such a special occasion at our clinic, Kids in Motion at the BGC. We have always encouraged all the children to come in costumes because we coordinate with our entire building so that the children can go trick-or-treating at their offices at every hour so that all the kids on that day can experience trick-or-treating. And to some people, they just think, oh, how foolish, it's useless fun. Others even think, oh, it's gory and it teaches violence. But it doesn't have to be all that. It's how you present the holidays to your children. And I think Halloween is one of those holidays that you can teach so much about pretend and symbolic play, which I will try to make an episode out of because it is such an important part of your children's development and how they develop more schemas. You can use this time, this whole period, to introduce the concept of trick or treat as a routine greeting. And for the really young ones, it could be exercise or practice on how to request for things nicely, how to say thank you after they receive something. All the different characters that you encounter during Halloween, like bats, spiders, witch cats, witch hats, cauldrons, ghosts, mummies, and all those things. So many things you can teach that, are too random to bring up on a regular day. When you've really learned how to maximize Halloween as a learning activity, an experiential activity, there's so much that you can do with it. But that's not actually what my topic is today. My topic is more connected to last week's episode, which I touched up on because I mentioned about the different kinds of visual materials that you can use when teaching identification or labeling. So this episode is actually about visual support. Visual materials, they are actually symbols. So they are another aspect of communication. It's not something that you learn automatically. Like the first time that we saw the Wi-Fi symbol, it wasn't automatic that we knew what that meant, but through experience and it being shown to us, that's when we learned what the Wi-Fi symbol means. Visual support, they're not all equal. So this is gonna be super quick, but at the end, I'll show you how you can use it during this Halloween season. So last week, I told you how you can start introducing the use of symbols by starting with objects, real objects first. So remember, I had an actual apple and an actual banana. So that's number one, the easiest thing for your children to identify as a visual material is an actual object. So things that you can find around your house, an actual pencil, your pillow, their ball, etc. Number two is colored photographs, pictures. What I mean by this is a picture of an actual object. When they see that and you have an actual object, it is easier for them to see that that looks exactly like that one because it is a picture representation of the actual object. And then after that, number three is a black and white photograph. So if you remove the feature of the color on the photograph, that's another level of difficulty. So you may not think so because to us it's already automatic that you see the other features of how an apple looks like even without the color red. But to a beginner, to a learner, that's not automatic to them. So just removing the aspect of color, the characteristics of like red, green, blue, whatever, which helps them identify things easier, is suddenly missing in a black and white photograph. So that's an added level of difficulty. After that, number 4 are your colored drawings. So now they're not pictures of actual objects. It is someone's interpretation of what an apple looks like. So of course, you can also start with very realistic drawings, but then sometimes, we can just draw 2 C's that look like they're facing each other and put a line. And to us, that's an apple. But again, when you're just starting to learn the concept of an apple and just see 2 of these things together, it could be so many different other things. So it's not automatic to them. But if you add color to that drawing, make it red, it will eliminate the other options that they have to weed out through in their mind. So after that, number 5, you have your black and white drawing. So again, it's just an interpretation of what an apple is, and you remove the feature or the aspect of the color. So again, that adds another level of difficulty. Or if it's just all black, we can have silhouettes of them. It adds another level of difficulty. But this is where the fun comes in. Because for these types of visual supports, you can do so many things. And you can use these types of visual materials to do inferencing activities. I mentioned making inferences in my episode about books, so you can go back to that if you want a better idea. But basically, inferencing is making sense of what is not actually literally there. There are so many symbols used in Halloween that are these black and white drawings. For example, you have silhouettes of a cat that's stretching, and then you have bats and spiders. All of these black and whites may already look like a cat to us who have such a solid concept of a cat. But to a baby, a toddler who doesn't have maybe a solid concept of a cat, just to see what is this outline and this black space, it's not an automatic deduction on their end that, oh, that's a cat. So these types of drawings and especially silhouettes are super helpful for doing inferencing activities. So you can do that. Go on the internet, look up silhouette drawings, and then Halloween characters. So you can have silhouettes of a ghost, silhouettes of a spider, and then cut them out and then look for actual pictures of these items, or if you want colored drawings of these items, and then set them side by side and see if your child can try to match the silhouette to the actual picture or the colored drawings. But of course, before you expect your child to identify, to match, or to label, you have to teach them first. You have to show them, you have to model. So again, watch out for trying to test your children for new information, because that is not setting them up for success. And possibly the last kind of symbols that they will become familiar with is the written word. So don't underestimate your children and think, oh, I'm not gonna show them words yet because they're not gonna understand it. Because there are actually children, some of them pick up first on letter recognition or even learning to read sight words already. We really can't tell. So I personally like to expose children to words anytime, if there are pictures and you can write short words, like if there's a picture of a dog and you can already put D-O-G under that, and you can read it to them, or you can say the sounds to them, D-O-G. And eventually that'll help them develop their reading later on. All of these symbols, from actual object to colored photos, black and white photos, colored drawings, black and white line drawings to silhouettes, and then the written word. You can incorporate them all in your activities, in your teaching. I am not saying that you should teach it in this sequence. I am only showing you because they are not the same levels of difficulty. That's it. I know that it'll be past Halloween when I release this, but I hope that you can still make the most out of the season and you can still introduce these concepts to them. And if not, you can use other visual supports for different other activities and other concepts and other themes of other holidays that are yet to come. I hope that helped, and I hope that you can see that a picture is not just a picture. There are different levels of difficulties, so you have to be patient with your child to also manage your expectations and their frustration tolerance. If you like this, and I hope you do, please subscribe. Please share so that this can reach more people, and you can reach me on my Facebook and Instagram at Teacher Kaye Talks, and I hope to see you here next week and every week after that and for years to come. And thank you and happy talking.